The Canucks have a top 3 pick in the 2026 draft, but that's the easy part. The real season-defining moment happens at 24th overall, where elite top 10 talent is projected to slide right into Vancouver's lap. This year's class is pure chaos. We're talking about a 100-point WHL superstar and a defenseman with Quinn Hughes-level skating, players who should be long gone but might be available when the Canucks step to the podium at 24th overall. If Vancouver wants to stop playing it safe and finally swing for a legitimate draft steal, these are the 5 targets they cannot afford to ignore, starting with a player whose release is already being called the best in the entire class. So let's go ahead and check this out. This is, of course, brought to us by our friends over at Canucks Army. Starting off with that first name, none other than JP Hurlbert from the Kamloops Blazers, 18 years old, left wing, 5'11", 183 pounds, shoots right. His stats were 42 goals and 55 assists in 68 games played. His Central Scouting final rank was number 12th on the North American skater list. One of the more intriguing first-round names being thrown around the entire 25-26 season has been Kamloops Blazers' JP Hurlbert. The high offensive pedigree but unclear surrounding tools, his stock has been volatile, yet always within the initial top 32. After a year with the U.S. National Development Program, the Allen, Texas native chose the unique, at least these days, path to join the WHL circuit. It proved to be a wise decision as he exploded on the scene to finish 4th in league scoring and just 3 points shy of eclipsing the 100-point mark. As you can imagine, that did wonders for his draft stock. Despite finishing top 5 in goals with 42 tucks, it wasn't just the goals either. He drove offense in multiple ways and was sought to be Kamloops' primary engine and a major factor in the team's push to the postseason. It didn't take long to find Hurlbert's calling card, his release. He's considered a one-shot scorer and can fire at will from any angle and awkward layout. He's a heavy weapon on the flanks and can score goals in a variety of ways that should translate to the highest levels. He's constantly scanning the ice, finding a soft spot in coverage for a one-timer or slipping a pass through a collapsing defensive structure. Offensively speaking, he's an easy bet to make within the range that the Canucks will be sitting at 24th overall. The biggest question, of course, surrounding his game, one that could drop him from a prospect in the teens, revolves around overall projectability. The floor feels difficult to pin down at times. Hurlbert can lean heavily on offensive instincts, while the finer details of his game take a back seat. Whether it's a defensive consistency, physical engagement, or decision-making away from the puck, there are obvious needs for further development, and most of all, the skating will need work, especially if he's to carve out a role up the middle. All that said, he's a competitive player who has an obvious love of the game. He treats every goal scored like it's his biggest yet. There's something infectious about his energy. From Vancouver's perspective, the appeal is obvious. Organizations don't often find players with legitimate top 6 offensive upside outside the top 20. If the Canucks believe they can continue rounding out the rest of Hurlbert's game, they may end up with a tremendous bet in the mid-20s. Next up, we have Xavier Villeneuve. I know I constantly called him Villeneuve. I stand corrected. The way you pronounce his name is actually Villeneuve, so I apologize for the previous videos of referring to him as that. But Xavier Villeneuve is the next person on this list for Blainville Boys Brand Armada, 18 years old. He's a defenseman, 5'11", 162 pounds, shoots left. His stats were 6 goals and 32 assists in 37 games played. His Central Scouting final rank is 18 among North American skaters. Is he a top 10 pick? Maybe. Is he a pick for the teens? He absolutely could be. Could you potentially let him slide and grab him in the second round? History with the Hudson brothers and many other smaller set defenders suggests that this is also a very strong possibility. But if you want high-octane, in-your-face offensive defense, Xavier Villeneuve is your guy. Supporters of him see one of the most naturally gifted offensive defensemen available in 2026. Critics, however, wonder whether the defensive deficiencies will ultimately prevent him from reaching his potential. And if we're being completely honest with ourselves, both viewpoints carry legitimate merit. Offensively, Villeneuve is incredible. He manipulates through highly effective deception, identifies passing lanes through layers of coverage, and consistently generates offense from the blue line. His ability and overall potential to quarterback a power play are as high as can be among this crop. When you think of the modern-day quick-twitch defenders a la Lane Hudson or Quinn Hughes, this kid brings those same vibes. And as with many of those high-flying names, it's his defense that begs questions. Villeneuve's size and consistency remain high points of emphasis. There are moments where defensive reads break down or physical limitations become glaringly apparent. As a result, teams will be forced to determine whether his offensive impact can compensate for those concerns. For Vancouver is a pure offensively driven defender, what's needed in such a crucial draft for the sake of the future. At some point, the day will come when teams quit feeding smaller set offensive dynamos and letting them slip into quote-unquote steal territory in the second round and beyond, but is that year in 2026. Next up, we have Egor Shilov for the Victoriaville Tigers of the QMJHL, 18 years old. He's a centerman, 6 foot, 177 pounds, shoots left, and in 63 games, he had 32 goals and 50 assists. His central scouting final rank was number 19 amongst North American skaters. One of the more difficult players to project within this range is Victoriaville's Egor Shilov. In some games, this Russian center looks every bit like a player who should hear his name called comfortably inside the first round. His offensive toolkit jumps off the page as he processes the game, identifies passing lanes before they fully develop, and maintains enough finishing ability to capitalize on opportunities himself. Rather than overwhelming opponents with elite speed or physical dominance, Shilov manipulates coverage through timing and high IQ hockey. He shows incredible hands and can rip the pill like the best of them. There are also encouraging signs defensively. Shilov does show a willingness to support low in the defensive zone, suggesting there may be more two-way potential than initially meets the eye. But then there are the other games, the games where concerns are often met with frustrating inconsistency. There are nights when you feel hard-pressed to find him on the ice before he ultimately turns things on and shows up to produce for his team. The highs are high, but the lows are low and riddled with questions. If you can take the swing on the offense and work with the inconsistent play, there is a highly intriguing offensive center lying within. Centers with legitimate offensive instincts remain among the most valuable assets in hockey. So if the Canucks believe that inconsistency can be addressed through development and maturity, they may find themselves selecting a player with considerably more upside than his draft position were to suggest. Next up, we have Liam Ruck, someone who we've talked about a lot on this channel. For the Medicine Hat Tigers, 18 years old, he's a right winger, 5'11", 177, shoots right. His stats in 68 games, he had 59 assists and 45 goals. Central Scouting final rank is number 20 amongst North American skaters. Has Liam Ruck's 104-point campaign put him out of Vancouver Canucks' contention? Perhaps. But with some skating concerns, questions about his ability to translate, especially without his brother Marcus, there is still a chance he's around for the team come 24. For that, he may end up being one of the most intriguing names available when Vancouver steps to the podium. The Soyuz BC product followed up an impressive WHL rookie campaign, 41 points in 61 games, by taking the WHL by storm alongside his brother. He became one of CHL's premier scoring threats while helping drive one of junior hockey's strongest teams. He's able to make plays in tight and make incredible quick one-touch plays with him and his line mates, not always his brother, but often. While he's shown the ability to be a facilitator, evidenced by his 59 assists this season, his bread and butter is his goal-scoring prowess. Liam shows the ability to score from a variety of areas and can switch things up to keep defenders netminders guessing. Is it a shot from distance? He has the velocity to make that happen. Was it a goal from in tight that he may have orchestrated from a thoughtful give and go? That's a staple. All in all, his awareness on the ice makes him a legitimate scoring threat that is likely to carry weight at the pro level. As mentioned, the primary concern revolves around skating. Ruck isn't the type of player who will routinely carry the puck end-to-end or overwhelm opponents through raw explosiveness. Improving his speed and overall skating mechanics are going to be a big defining factor in whether he's able to advance and replicate that 100-plus point performance at the next level. Still, players with Ruck's combination of anticipation, touch, and offensive versatility tend to find ways to contribute, even if it's in a middle six capacity. From Vancouver's perspective, there are multiple reasons to be intrigued. Beyond the local connection, Ruck's intelligence and ability to create offense through processing rather than pure athleticism are intriguing additions to a system in desperate need of both. And hey, perhaps selecting Liam gives them the leg up in finding both brothers at the table. Next up, we have Mathis Preston from the Vancouver Giants, 17 years old. He's also a right winger, 5'11", 173, shoots right. His stats in 46 games played were 26 assists and 18 goals. His Central Scouting final rank is number 32 amongst North American skaters. The Canucks have shown throughout their history that they aren't keen on finding talent in the local Vancouver Giants system. With a mid-season trade from the Spokane Chiefs, that's exactly what they would have to do to land Mathis Preston. This time, however, this player feels like a true and legitimate target. Whether that's at 24 or 33 remains to be seen, because while his offensive game and burner speed are tangibles that teams covet, his smaller stature and lack of power represent the exact archetype that tends to slip come draft day. At his best, Preston shows elite speed, a dangerous shot, and a track record of producing against quality competition, so much so that many pundits had him well within their top 10 targets as the 25-26 draft season kicked off. But then came in an inconsistent season, a mid-year trade, and injury, and plenty of debate surrounding his projection. Spokane had seen most of its high-powered players exit, leaving Preston as one of the team's go-to drivers. While 32 points in 36 games certainly was nothing to scoff at, it wasn't the explosive and game-changing start many had anticipated, and yet he still finished the year as an average point-per-game player with 44 points in 46 total games. That's because the talent remains undeniable. With incredible edges and burning speed, he could very well be one of the fastest players in this draft class. He attacks defenders with confidence, generating separation through outstanding acceleration. Once he gets his legs moving downhill, there's a good chance he's giving himself a clear path toward a rush opportunity. Offensively speaking, Preston's fluid hands, pinpoint release, and blazing speed make him a constant threat. He can beat goaltenders cleanly from range without breaking stride and maintaining speed through the neutral zone and into the offensive zone. Big question, is it enough to make him a threat at the NHL level? He's going to be a fast skater regardless of where he plays, but is he powerful enough and bring enough of a mix of tools to capitalize? With a lack of willingness to or ability to drive to the guts of the ice, he can become predictable, attacking wide before settling for lower percentage opportunities. But depending on how things shake up with the team's initial top pick, Preston represents a very solid upside bet within this 24 to 33 range. For Vancouver, this would be a classic upside selection. Canucks would essentially be betting that the player who once looked like a top 10 talent is still there beneath the inconsistencies of a challenging draft year. And here at the end, apparently Dave has another list that they're going to talk perhaps between 24 and 33. So we look forward to reading that from Dave. I know it's going to be absolutely amazing, as is everything that he writes. But I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section down below. What do you guys think about these potential or these 5 targets? What do you guys think about Egor Shilov? What do you guys think about Xavier Villeneuve? What do you guys think about JP Hurlbert, Liam Ruck, and Mathis Preston? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And of course, also, if you guys enjoyed this video, you guys can, on your way out, you can hit the like button and subscribe to The Line Change for more Canucks and draft-related content. You can also become a member of The Line Change by hitting that join button to receive exclusive perks. You get members-only videos. I'm also planning some behind-the-scenes stuff, and you can also get early access to videos such as like the one you are watching right now. But before I sign off, an important message from our friends over at DraftKings. It all comes down to this: a best-of-7 battle, and DraftKings has you covered every step of the way. The DraftKings Sports app is now available in all 50 states and includes all markets. Sweat every shift of the series all in one place with one app. New DraftKings customers sign up with code THPN, spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days. That's code THPN in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, bet text pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Void in Ontario. Event contract trading with DraftKings predictions involves risk of loss. Sportsbook bonus bets expire in 7 days. $50 in predictions dollars issued weekly for 3 weeks expire in 1 year. Redeem one non-withdrawable reward. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Ends June 28. Terms at dkng.co/audio.
Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.